When people talk about their favorite anime, it's usually the characters, the fights, or that one scene that absolutely broke them. But think about it, why do some animes stay with you long after the end? Most of the time it's because of the world itself, the culture, the history, the rules, the politics, all the little details that make it feel like the world existed long before the story even began. And that's exactly what this list is all about. Today we're counting down the top 10 anime with the best world building, the shows that didn't just tell a story, they built a world around it. Number 10. Delicious in Dungeon. Here we follow a group of adventurers trying to survive in a dangerous fantasy dungeon after losing one of their own members early on. With no money and no supplies, they make a desperate decision. They'll eat the monsters they defeat. That simple premise opens the door to one of the most entertaining fantasy worlds in all of anime. Here, monsters aren't just enemies, they're part of a living ecosystem. Each one has habits, weaknesses, and even particular ways to prepare them as food. The dungeon itself feels alive, with layered floors, unique rules, and dangers that create some of the funniest and most inventive moments in the genre. Delicious in Dungeon builds a world where magic, survival, and exploration are deeply connected. And the deeper you go, the more you understand how adventurers really live. Number 9. Gachi. This story takes place in a brutally divided society, where those deemed worthless, like criminals or outcasts, are literally thrown into a massive pit along with the rest of society's trash. We follow Rudo, a boy cast into the abyss after being wrongfully accused of a crime. And here, survival means adapting to an entirely new world built from discarded scraps, at least from the noble's point of view. In Gachi, trash isn't just garbage. Objects can actually gain power based on the meaning they hold, and entire communities are formed around those who can harness that power. It's a harsh, bizarre, and strangely functional underground civilization. The art looks scratched and dirty, like nothing here was meant to last, and the power system is fueled by emotion and attachment, which makes sense in a world full of loss. This setting reflects the society's cruelty, values, and imbalance. It's honestly uncomfortable to watch at times, but that discomfort is exactly what makes the world feel so real. Number 8. Ascendance of a Bookworm. The premise behind this one is simple. A book-loving woman named Mind dies and is reborn as a sickly young girl in a medieval fantasy world where books are incredibly rare. Her goal? To read again. And from there, the show builds one of the most thoughtful and immersive fantasy societies in anime. You're introduced to the world slowly, through daily life. Instead of lore dumps, you learn about social classes, religion, trade, education, and magic through the everyday problems Mind has to solve. Paper is expensive, literacy is a privilege, knowledge is tightly controlled. As the story progresses, you start to see the gap between nobles and commoners, how economics shapes behavior, and how deep this culture really runs. It's a slow burn, but it's super immersive and incredibly rewarding. The kind of story that makes you feel like the world existed long before the show ever began. Number 7. Dorohedoro. This anime takes place between two connected worlds. The Whole, a grimy, chaotic city where humans live, and the Sorcerer's World, where magic users casually experiment on those humans. Magic has rules, costs, and consequences. Power is corrupt, violence is constant, and yet, life goes on. People still cook, laugh, form friendships, and survive in whatever way they can in spite of the chaos swirling around them. No one stops to explain how the world works. You're just thrown into it and expected to keep up. That disorientation isn't a flaw, it's part of the immersion. The Whole is a place where people have adapted to cruelty and learned how to survive in their own ways. Meanwhile, the Sorcerer's World feels just as broken, full of politics, rivalries, and selfish ambition hiding behind magic. The world is built around a grotesque, horrifying atmosphere that genuinely makes you feel sick, and the characters are so well written, it somehow feels like they truly belong in this chaos. It's a bit confusing in the first few episodes, but that actually matches the energy of the show and what it would feel like to live there. That raw immersion is one of the reasons why we love this anime so much. Number 6. The Fate series. At its core, the Fate series begins with the simple idea. Mages summon legendary heroes from history and mythology and have them fight in secret wars, all for the chance to make a wish that can supposedly grant anything. That alone sounds wild, but what really makes Fate stand out is everything happening beneath that surface. This is a world that's been building itself for centuries. Magic isn't just something people throw around, it's treated like a hidden science with strict rules, limits, and consequences. Mage families hold power similar to that of ancient noble houses, passing knowledge down through generations and protecting their secrets at all costs. Organizations like the Clock Tower exist solely to regulate magic and maintain balance, even if it means making brutal decisions. But the most impressive part of Fate's world building is its consistency. No matter which entry you start with, the rules remain the same. Historical figures are reimagined in ways that stay true to the system. Nothing feels random or rushed. It might feel overwhelming at first, but the deeper you go, the more you realize just how much this world holds. And that depth is exactly what keeps fans coming back series after series. Number 5. Mushoku Tensei. In this world, we follow a 34-year-old man who dies and is reborn into a fantasy world as a baby, which grants him a second chance to live differently. At first glance, it sounds like your typical isekai setup, but Mushoku Tensei makes it clear this world wasn't built around the protagonist. There are different cultures, nations, and power systems, and the story forces him to grow within that world instead of bending it to him. Magic isn't something you instantly master. It takes years of learning, practice, and experimentation. Travel is difficult, distance matters. Different regions have unique customs, dangers, and ways of life, and you feel that with every shift in location. What makes this world feel alive is how time actually passes. Characters age, relationships evolve, early choices come back in unexpected ways. And side characters don't just exist to support the main character. They have their own paths, arcs, and failures. Everything feels slow and earned, which gives the show a realism most isekai lack. And that realism is what makes this world feel so immersive. Number 4. Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. Frieren begins where most fantasy stories end. The Demon King is defeated, the heroes are celebrated, and life goes on. Our protagonist, Frieren, is an elf mage who outlives her party and must now navigate a world shaped by time and memory. Instead of constant battles, the world is built through quiet, meaningful details. How magic is studied, how memories linger, and how places remember the people who've passed through. You travel through familiar fantasy landscapes, but they feel different because history matters. Old spells hold weight, legends echo forward. Side characters carry lives that don't just revolve around the main cast. The slow, emotional pacing brings a unique kind of depth, one rooted in aftermath rather than adventure. And that perspective is what makes Frieren's world feel not only real, but unforgettable. Number 3. Made in Abyss. The world of Made in Abyss is built around one place, a massive, mysterious chasm known simply as the Abyss, filled with ancient relics, monstrous creatures, and a curse that punishes anyone who tries to climb back out. Each layer of the Abyss has its own rules, ecosystems, and dangers, and the deeper you go, the stranger and more hostile it becomes. Exploration is sacred, knowledge is incomplete, survival is never guaranteed. Entire economies, cultures, and ways of thinking are shaped by the Abyss. People build their lives around the hope of discovery, and it's resulted in entire families being destroyed. The story's cute art style hides a cruel, punishing world, and that contrast is what makes every choice feel dangerous, every step feel irreversible. The Abyss isn't just a setting, it's an active living force that shapes every character and every decision, which makes Made in Abyss one of the most haunting and unforgettable worlds in anime. Number 2. Lord of the Mysteries. Set in a world that feels like a twisted version of Victorian society, Lord of the Mysteries hides something far more sinister beneath its familiar surface. Secret organizations operate in the shadows. Ancient beings influence the world from behind the veil of reality. Power comes from rituals so dangerous that they slowly erode your sanity. What makes the world building here so effective is its restraint. You're never given everything at once. Instead, you're fed bits of unsettling information, hints that suggest something much bigger, older, and more threatening is lurking just out of view. Every discovery feels risky, like knowing too much could be fatal. And even with just one season, you can feel the weight of a massive, multi-layered universe waiting to unfold. That slow, deliberate unraveling, the atmosphere of mystery and dread, is what sets Lord of the Mysteries apart. It's a world you want to explore, even if it might devour you. And finally, number 1, One Piece. As probably most of you already know, One Piece is set in a massive world of oceans, islands, and empires, where pirates chase freedom and are hunted by the world government. What begins as a simple adventure for our main character, Luffy, quickly grows into one of the most detailed fictional worlds ever created. Every island feels like its own country, with unique cultures, climates, and belief systems and political structures that shape how people live and how conflicts begin. Some places are ruled by fear, others by hope, and many fall somewhere in between. This world building continues through themes like ancient civilizations, forbidden knowledge, revolutions, slavery, and the idea of inherited will, all of which connect the story in ways that take hundreds of episodes to fully pay off. What truly sets One Piece apart is how almost nothing is ever thrown away. Small details come back hundreds of episodes later, and anything can happen at any time because of that. In our opinion, when it comes to world building, there's no story that does it better than One Piece, and that's why it's become one of the most popular anime ever made. And that's the list. 10 anime with the best world building. But now, I gotta ask, who do you think deserves the top spot? And also, did we miss anyone? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And make sure to turn on those notifications for more top 10 anime videos just like this one. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time.